Hello chaps, the name's Squeaky the Chinchilla, TM Crumpus, BBC the Queen Wallace and Gromit, Mr. Bean British.
Squeaky, this show is not British, it's Celtic. What the fuck?
Hello, my name is Squeaky the Chinchilla, and welcome to the first of the Chinchilla Cartoon Corner Reviews, a series where I review random cartoons. What else? To start us off, we are going to be looking at SuperTed, a British animated series from 1982. Now, although the cartoon started in 1982, we actually start in 1978 with bedtime stories. No, not the Adam Sandler movie, the actual bedtime stories. Someone named Mike Young created the concept of SuperTed to help his son conquer his fear of the dark. That is actually so wholesome. The show is about a teddy bear who lives with a spotted onion, and is also a superhero, and follows them as he fights off a cowboy played by Freezeezy, a fat guy played by Lucas Man from Willy Wonka, and a gay version of Papyrus that Love made years before Undertale. Wait, Smoke, did you mix up our game of Mad Libs into the script?
No!
No? Well damn, this is definitely a weird plot. Now the way I will be reviewing these cartoons is by watching 3 of them, the highest rated episode in IMDb, the lowest rated episode, and a random episode chosen by either a randomizer or Smoke themselves. Also, I reacted to these live with Smoke in our Discord, so we will occasionally cut to audio of that when we say something funny or the like. Oh, and Smoke, you had something you wanted to say before we begin.
SuperTed has to be one of the weirdest things I have ever watched. Okay, maybe not the weirdest. I am talking as someone who has watched Tamala 2010, Son of the White Mare, and The Cosmic Eye. The difference is that those movies all had a purpose to their weirdness. Tamala 2010 was weird for the sake of a chaotic, non-linear story, as the viewer could gradually unravel the world building and mystery as they went on. Son of the White Mare was weird in terms of the folktale it was based on, as well as several creative liberties in the villain designs and the animation. The Cosmic Eye... okay, that was only weird because of the framing device, not so much the rest of the movie. But SuperTed is weird as a whole, and not in a way that I can fathom in its creative process. Let's just go over the premise on its own. A teddy bear that looked just like the others was rejected for being off somehow. Then Spotty, this random alien, shows up and brings the teddy to life. And somehow he knows Mother Nature, who gives Teddy the power to peel his skin off and become a superhero.
Here I come to save the day.
With a premise as insane as that, it'd be a mistake to question the logic of this show. Maybe if Squeaky and I had watched the whole show and not just the free episodes at random, we could have made sense of all of this. But if the show was only just weird, it would be interesting, but not too interesting to talk about. And for what it's worth, the show is pretty enjoyable. It can be rather funny at times.
Found it!
But what's even better is the visuals. And this keeping in mind, this was a television cartoon from the 80s, where the highest quality animation a show would have would be in its intro, or in a film adaptation like Transformers. Compare that to SuperTed. The animation is so lathered and smooth, it's paired with beautifully painted backgrounds. Mwah! But while the show glows in that case, it also suffers from one major issue: the pacing. Sure, there's plenty of fun shenanigans to go around, but there's rarely room to breathe. As soon as a scene is ready to end, it just fades to black and fades right back into the next scene. There's hardly even a moment before an episode fades to the credits. I get that every episode is only like 7 minutes long, and you gotta make each second count in a good piece of film, but take a little time for us to process everything. And there's one other notable problem I'll get into once we reach the episode it is most prevalent in.
But enough screwing around, time to dive in. We start with the highest rated episode in IMDb, SuperTed at the Funfair, which has a 7 out of 10. So this boy here is kidnapped by Texas Pete, our villain for the series.
And a lasso quite like Texas Pete.
Wait, is he about to pull a bookie? What the fuck?
No.
And his henchman, Dog, the really fat guy, and Skeleton, who is gay. No, I am not trying to make an out-of-taste joke. Although that really is one of my favorite kinds of jokes. The creator literally described Skeleton as flamboyantly gay, which is a direct quote. But I'm just going to call him Papyrus, because there is only one other gay skeleton I can think of. By the way, when researching for this video, I learned Texas Pete is also the name of a brand of hot sauce. Thought I should mention that. He plans on holding him ransom, and we cut to SuperTed and Spotty in their rocket. Spotty has measles, and although he says,
But I've only got one spot left.
we clearly see he has more than one spot.
You're lying!
So SuperTed gets his own call from the boy's mother, and this is great number one me and Smokehead. How do these people communicate with him? Is it just Zoom? Is it more complicated? Who knows, and frankly who cares? So my question to you Smoke is how the fuck do they get video calls in space? I mean like where are they? Where do they live?
A monitor.
Wow, what a helpful answer!
So in order to fly and all that crap, SuperTed says his magic word. Well, he supposedly says it, because we never learn what his magic word is.
And I'll say my magic word. It's a secret.
But it doesn't matter what the magic word is, because he can just rip his skin off to reveal a superhero outfit underneath it. Wait, that's what is under it? Hold on, I have to go try this. I'm Squeaky, and this is the magic word. Alright, I'm gonna guess the magic word is, smoke. What did you decide the secret word was?
You dumbass chinchilla, this ain't gonna work.
Don't call me a dumbass. This is a college-educated plan that I came up with from the funny British teddy bear.
I already told you it's... Whatever. Or go on your plan.
Thank you. Now, what was the magic word, horse boy?
Clunge?
I mean I would have decided in something else, but screw it, I'm going with your choice. Plunge.
I told you it wouldn't work.
So Pete, I and Papyrus go to the ghost train, where they write out a ransom letter, and I have to praise this show for the writing. It feels like SuperTed and Spotty are just insulting each other most of the time, and I love it.
But it always works perfectly on spot.
Well, I felt warmer goldfish bowls.
Plus, this bit with the ransom letter got me and Smoke laughing.
And Bolt needs brain surgery.
Holy shit, that line ice cold. What the fuck, skeleton? I mean Papyrus. Also, I want to take this time to praise the animation of the series. For the same year as Filmation and Dick Entertainment, this is pretty impressive stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if you thought this was done by a professional studio instead of some people over in the United Kingdom. In fact, they might have actually done better than said professional studio, because in 1989, Hanna-Barbera made the further adventures of SuperTed. The voice actors for Texas Pete and Papyrus returned, as well as SuperTed and Spotty.
And this is a spotted dingbat, SuperTed.
Your shadows are great, Spotty. Would you show me how to make them?
Not to mention he stole my foot and put it in the rubbish. I had a beast of a time getting it out.
Why, you low-down prairie pansies can't do diddly.
Unfortunately, this was after Roy Kinnear, the original voice actor for Buck, died in 1988 after an accident while filming a movie. A legend in acting taken from us so soon. This video goes out to him. I don't know how to go past that serious moment. Oh yeah, they made SuperTed American.
Back home on the range, when I was a whelp, my mama whooped me good and made me yelp.
Now I'm all grown up and my yelping is done. I'm a genuine, real singing son of a gun.
Okay, serious talk over. Back to the ransom note, and they literally say they are going to fucking murder him if the mom doesn't pay. I mean, whatever works.
Write a ransom note. Right, Tex? Tell the boy's mother asking for money. Or the kid kicks the bucket.
Bucket, Tex. We haven't got a bucket.
Shall I get one, Tex? Shh.
So SuperTed finds them in the ghost train, which, how did he know that lost where they were in the first place? But whatever, after the villains don't even put up a fight in the slightest, they take a picture of them and the episode ends. No kind of comeuppance, just taking a picture. I'll assume they were put in jail or something, but you'll find this is a common occurrence with this series. Most of the time they don't get arrested, they are just embarrassed or something. I would have liked to at least seen SuperTed kill one of them. I mean, I know this is a kid's show, but it would have been funny. Overall, I liked this episode. Definitely a little weird, but I can see why this was highest rated.
Oh, SuperTed, you're so... Oh, right, that's my turn. Like I said, the backgrounds of this show are fucking amazing, and it is on full display in this episode. Right from the get-go, when paired with the narrator from Thomas the Tank Engine.
It is the end of summer. The funfair is almost deserted.
We get quite the view of the amusement park and the lit up street beside it, followed by plenty of shots of the roller coaster's tracks and structure. Let's talk about the backgrounds a bit more. Every shot of the interstellar teddy base, especially when it spins around. The detail of the monster heads on the ghost ride too, and holy shit, is that blood? Blood? In 80s kids cartoon? And what's this? A SuperTed carousel? This is the only piece of SuperTed merch we saw in these 3 episodes, and does make me wonder how much of a celebrity this bear is. Surely we'd have seen some rando wearing a SuperTed shirt, or SuperTed backpack plush, or SuperTed costume, and knowing he's a valiant, capable hero, you would think we'd maybe see people talk about him that aren't the villains. I don't know, I'd definitely look up to him. Oh, remember the gay skeleton? I'm pretty sure he wanted to fuck that cardboard skeleton at the end. It's cardboard. And you don't have genitals. At least I don't think so, because, you know, you're a skeleton. Does SuperTed have genitals?
Google, show me this guy's balls.
Ah, jeez, now my own review is getting messy. And that's how I can describe the events here. Messy. We flip-flop between the villains kidnapping the kid and SuperTed trying to catch the villains. The villains get a good amount of screen time as they get into slapstick with the amusement park rides, and both the skeleton and the fat guy don't take it very seriously. Like, that's all well and good, but what is SuperTed doing? Not much, actually. He's just trying to track them down, and the most we get with him is when he's trying to find Waluigi in a coffin. I mean, seriously? For a bear who can fly from space to Earth, you'd think he'd do more than just wander around. Hell, as soon as he lands on the roller coaster, he gets hit and is dangling from a rope? You can fly, dumbass! Oh, who am I kidding? It's not like this bear listened to Spotty when he told him not to use the Earth thermometer. Oh yeah, that's right. The episode begins with Ted caring for Spotty, who got the measles. And it's why Ted has to go it alone this episode. But it's not like this affects the plot at all, and Spotty's condition is never brought up again till like the very end of the episode. At least we got Ted getting a bit close to Spotty in the end.
But before we get into that, I want to give a bit of a shout out to a friend of mine who has their own animated web series, Terri Starstrike. If you schmucks don't wanna watch this part, just skip to the part my editor has on screen. But if you want to support the creator, go and click in the link below. Terri Starstrike is a web series that takes place in the heart of Westshore, California. When Nellie Wilson comes in contact with Terri Malavalo of the Jatuzans, life brings in some big changes. Literally. More literally, because Terri can become 57 feet tall. What happens when you mix an alien, her pet blob jelly, a handful of colorful characters, including a little mystery character voiced by someone I am not telling you about, and a government agent hell-bent in exposing her to the world? Well, you'll just have to watch Terri Starstrike to find out. But, as Mr. Lickdude would say,
we've got to have money.
So that is why the creator has started a Cove page to get funding for their show, as well as to try and find a team of animators willing to help pitch in. The Cove has commissions drawn by the creator of the show, who is really good at drawing. At least compared to me. But I have low standards. The goal is $20,000 to fully animate their first episode, The Invader, which is on the Terri Starstrike YouTube channel, alongside a handful of shorts and 2 other episodes, a trio of Twisted Fate, and The Devil Wears Pop-Ons. And during the production of this video, a 4th episode is in production. But I will not tell you about it. You need to wait. Be patient. So, if it wasn't clear enough of what your mission is, let me spell it out for you. Go click on the link in the description. Go support Terri Starstrike's production. Get them to $20,000. Subscribe to the Terri Starstrike channel. Thank you to Erica for giving me this opportunity and good luck with your series. Our next episode, SuperTed and the Pearl Fishers, which is the lowest rated episode with a 4.9 out of 10. So going into it, me and Smoke weren't really sure why, but it took us just about a minute to figure out why that might be. Oh, well. That is— That's racist! You can see why we put that content warning, right? In fact, here was me and Smoke's lit reaction to that clip.
Someone's in trouble.
Are you there, SuperTed? You must help. 3 frogs have taken over our
the fuck,
island.
Jesus Christ, Smoke.
Oh,
The fuck, you can't do
I
that.
can see why this is getting a pretty bad rating.
I mean, I know this was 98 too, but what the hell? cultural insensitivity is still cultural insensitivity. I'm just going to get through this episode as quick as possible so the dicks over at Yalad don't strike me down. Luigi wants pearls. He steals pearls. Ted and Spot free natives. Ted and Spot stop him. The end. You can probably tell I am not a fan of how the South Pacific Island residents are drawn, can you? Also, how do they have the technology to call SuperTed but they don't have the technology to defend themselves? This is easily the worst episode, for the depictions alone, plus the plot is a bit weak. Still, that scene with the octopus could have gone a lot worse.
I think Squeaky covered the more offensive stuff more than enough, but I'll just add on to it a bit by saying that most of this episode is just navigating the island. When we aren't spending time with our villains feasting on oysters, we're just watching SuperTed and Spotty thinking the island is scary and dangerous.
There's something about this island that makes my stomach churn.
Oh, that's just rocket sickness, SuperTed. You landed much too fast.
No, it's not that. I don't like it, Spotty. It's too quiet.
I mean, yeah, monkey assault Spotty with coconuts. We get this cool shot of the cave entrance, but...
Don't do that, Spotty.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that noise was enough to make me come up in goose stripes.
It's really not that scary. If anything, just makes this episode more racist. But even if you could put that aside, this episode's just really uneventful. At least at the fun fair had a bit more fun with its setting. This episode barely tries. Now to be fair, we jump from the 10th episode to the 2nd episode. So if this show is an overarching narrative, it makes sense for Ted to not know he has super strength and all that. You know, the show's just getting its bearings. But then he rounds up the bad guys less than a minute later, and we don't even get to see the cowboy rounded up. We just fade to the bonfire just after he was about to get subjected to tentacle hentai. Gotta say, that was one freaky octopus, but I don't know, I'm not into that shit.
So now, for the final episode we're talking about, the random episode Smoke chose, SuperTed meets Father Christmas. Alright, so I don't know anything about Father Christmas, but he is the British version of Santa. So can any of my British viewers tell me any differences between him and Santa Claus? Because here, we don't leave Santa wine, which has cookies. We should. Oh, the guy deserves to get at least a little hammered during his trip around the world. So this is one of those plots, where the heroes don't believe in Santa, but he actually exists. I mean, considering magic exists in this world, plus reincarnation with papyrus, how come they are surprised that Santa exists?
Father Christmas would never have been that cross.
Well, what about the beard and the sleigh?
Yes, that is a bit of a mystery.
Yes, I know they call him Father Christmas, but I am American and that is the only right way to say it. So the finale kind of was a bit interesting, for the sole reason that Texas Pete actually put up a fight against SuperTed for once. I mean, sure, he still got the stuffing beat out of him by a teddy bear, hopefully intended, but you have to give the man props for trying. Overall, I found this one was pretty good. Not stellar, but definitely better than whatever the fun the last one was.
It's a bit more difficult to review this one, not because it's easy to point out the flaws like in the other episodes. Like, it does suffer from how quickly the scenes last as before. Like, I find it funny how little the twist that Father Christmas does exist is barely dwelled upon.
Please, leave me alone.
Oh dear.
Look, SuperTed! Look!
But here, it's more the opposite of the previous episodes. Rather than giving the villains the focus, we spend more time with the misadventures of Ted and Spotty, and that comes with some hit or miss jokes along the way.
Spotty! Spotty! Spotty!
Oh, where's SuperTed? SuperTed! Oh, help! It's one of those horrible earthquakes! Oh, I do wish SuperTed was here.
I am here, Spotty. It was good of you to drop in.
And now, here's where we get that one problem I mentioned before. In the previous episodes, when it came to SuperTed confronting the villains, there was next to no action. At most, he would throw the fat guy around or taunt the skeleton, and the same is true here. But for once, we get an actual fight in this episode. Now, granted, the fight isn't that long, as most of it is taken up by dialogue, and it's only a minute long. But it's a fight, and it's rather fun. And, well, probably the best part.
Oh, harder, Daddy!
And I have to say, the blows to the villains feel a lot more impactful this time around. Obviously, we got the fat guy as he's thrown off the roof and into the snow for good measure, but we also get some nice animation when his head goes through the fence. And then we got the cowboy with a nice series of bangs to the snow. And also for a change, the villains don't get caught when we call it a day. Cruelly, they're left to their fates. And all over just trying to ruin Christmas. Like, this is nowhere near their worst crime. So where the hell was this SuperTed in the previous episodes?
So, what are my overall thoughts? Well, although it isn't perfect, this show was a lot better than I would have thought for the absolutely batshit crazy plot it came up with. I mean, I like it, but I feel there were a few loose ends they could have wrapped up. I give SuperTed a score of 4 chinchillas out of 5, and Smoke's score is 3.5 horsehounds out of 5. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little beater from my usual stuff. Working on Happy Tree Friends stuff is fun, but I figured I could take a change of pace and try something else out. If this does well, it might be a new series. I have a few ideas of what series we are talking about next, but feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments, and I will mostly likely ignore it or maybe watch it, if I think it would be a good video. Okay, that is all.
Smash or pass time! SuperTed. Smash. Easy smash. His charming voice, that soft fur. Even if he doesn't have anything under that fur, I'd still do him. He's so fucking handsome! Spotty. Smash all the same. He might be a bit of an interesting fellow, but he's a good guy deep down, and who knows what kind of unique activities he's got on this planet. At that, ass. Texas Pete. Smash once again. While he is more of a conventionally attractive character and honestly not too much freaky material, at least he's got that whip. And hey, if you like villains, he might be up your alley. Bulk. Maybe. Look, I myself like some fatties, but maybe he's a bit too dumb for my liking. Now, it's not like he's the only dumb one, but that's just kind of his character. More of a punchline to others than anything. Skeleton. Pass. It's a skeleton. He'd probably want to smash me, but like, at least I can imagine being able to smash a teddy bear. Skeleton's definitely got no ass, and definitely got no cock and balls. Nothing to grab a hold of, and not anything to put in me. Hello?
Stop trying to fuck SuperTed!
Okay, Squeaky saying goodbye now, goodbye.